Hi everybody. So I am back with the other step to do in the Tilda Doll. So I thought I'd get my stuff out and we'll do the other step. So I left you last time with, what did I leave you with? I think I left you last time with the legs, didn't I? I left you how to cut it out, and we got to that stage because we're going to get to that stage in a second, because I wanted to show you a quick way of getting it inside out, because of course the leg is it's about 14 inches long and it's very narrow, so there's a trick to unpicking it. So that's what I'm going to do in this one, and we're also going to do how to cut the arm. We might do that in the next step, because each step is obviously a different step to making the Tilda doll itself, and I want to do it with you. So remember me saying in the last video that I am doing a Tilda doll to show you, and I'm also making one for Rose. Now these are the arms, these are the legs, these are what you'll end up with once you've done turn them both inside out. And the way I'm going to show you how to do that is easy, so stay with me. Hopefully this video won't be too long. So we need it to look something like so. Need it quite flat because we're going to stick some stuff inside it. So I left you leaving 1/4 of an inch a gap by cutting it down, because if it's too bulky, what will end up happening is that when you come to turning it inside out, either the stuffing will get stuck at the narrowest point, which would be about here, or it'll end up being too bulky and you're not going to be able to iron it flat. So my edges, if you notice, they're starting to fray, and a quicker way to stop them fraying is by getting my little, now this scissors is called something, but I can't remember what it's called. I usually say my jagged scissors because I can never remember what it's called. Shears, I think. No, it's not called shears. I can't remember. So all you do, because you're cutting the fabric a waving, so at a wavy length, this is what you'll end up having. It's the fabric, because it's cut up and down, it won't fray. If it's cut straight, you could just pull those threads until you got your stitches that you've sewn on your machine. But with the cutting of the edges with the scissors, it'll stop it fraying all together. So when you come to turning your doll inside out, you'll find that it'll completely stop it fraying. So I'm just going to go up. Okay, so I'm going to shake that. So you've got to that stage. Now we're going to turn it inside out, and the quicker way to turn it inside out is by gathering it as much as you can gather, like as if you were putting a sock on, and then get your tweezers. Now you can do most of this with your fingers, of course you can. Like I say, when you get to sort of the narrowest bit, you'll find that it's much easier using a pair of tweezers. Now they do take a little time to get going, but once you achieved it, you'll be away. And I'm going to try not to leave it so long between videos. I know this this Tilda Doll, I'm finding that I'm trying to catch up with all my swaps and my challenges, and this Tilda Doll is just being left by itself, and I need not to leave it so long. Why is it done that? Oh, I know why it's done that. I'm going to show you what I've done, and then I'm going to stop the video, go and correct it, and come back to you. Let me pick it now. Can you see? I'm going to get to about the earth. So if I had unpicked it all the way, it would have looked like that. It would have looked a bit like that on each side, but I didn't turn the other piece around when I was sewing it. So now what I'm going to have to do is unpick it this way and sort of go back on what I've done and start again with that boot, which see, it should have been each way. So what I'm going to do, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to go all the way down, get to about here, turn it the right way, and then sew it back up. So I am going to do this off camera because it requires me going down with the scissors and painstakingly cutting those stitches back, which is basically go around each stitch and you unpick your stitches. That's the only way to correct what I've done. See? Now I'm not going to obviously do this on film because it would take me forever. It's going to take me a while to do this. So instead, I'm going to do a couple of stitches and show you what I mean by unpicking. Instead, what I'm going to do is show you the arms. Now, before I turn it inside out, I might check if I've got the fabric the right way. So it just requires me going down, all the way down, and painfully unstitching my stitches because I've got the boots. The boots aren't inside out both sides on this fortunately on this leg, otherwise that would have worked out. So I'm going to do that off camera. So this step will be the arms. Now let me just check. So I've done one to show you what we're going to accomplish. That's what we're trying to accomplish basically. Now I'm going to just, yes, I have got them both the right way. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch gap all the way around. Now 1/4 inch gap is around about where I'm going with my scissors. I'm not leaving too much and I'm not leaving too little. Because I can stop this frame in a second. And I'm going to get my sewing machine. I'm going to plug it up. And I'm going to come back to you. Right, okay. So, get to about there. Now, I've done it the other way around when I've done the legs. I've probably stitched it, left 1/4 inch gap, then cut it. It doesn't matter what way round you do it, really. It's just what way works best for you. So I'm going to go and get my machine plugged up. I'm going to cut my leg, and we're going to do the leg and the arm the same time. That way then, hopefully all this step will be in one video. I'll speak to you all soon. Hi everybody. Right, so I've spent 5.5 hours doing the exact same thing. So I said I'd be back to do the leg. You'll notice it's got different fabric. The reason for this is because I haven't got any more of this fabric left, and when I was snipping it apart, I accidentally snipped into the fabric onto the boots. So I've spent 5.5 hours tonight rectifying the problem. So I thought, oh, what can I use? Because I haven't got that fabric, what can I use? So instead, I had to rummage around and I've come across this fabric. Since I'm using, I'll unpin this and show you. Since I'm using this for her dress, so I thought they would look quite pretty as boots. And I am going to be putting some lace and that kind of thing on. But these Tilda dolls are driving me nuts tonight, I must admit. So after I showed you, I'm going to go on to a different project before I start pulling hair out. So I'm going to use these as my boots. So this is for the yellow doll. This isn't the doll that I'm doing for Rose. Because I've actually, on Rose's doll, I actually got the legs right. And her legs are all ready to go, ready for me to stuff them. Because I want to be able to do Rose's doll and this doll that I'm making to show you how to do the same time. And I've also done the arms as well on her doll. So what we're going to do now, I've rectified it. I haven't ironed this down flat, but I will do once we do this leg. Now, a couple of things. You need to, where her knee is, so here, make 3 snips. Oh, I think I've already done it. Yeah. The reason for that is because of her knee, and she's going to sit, it's going to give the fabric a bit of breathing space. If I didn't want that movement at all, I didn't want her placing to sit, don't cut where the knee is. She's not going to be able to sit. If you just 3 little snips on where she sort of curves around. So back to where we were. Well, where are my tweezers? Right, back to where we were. You need some tweezers. And I have checked the fabric's the right way. Take as much as you can take through with your hands. And then when you get to about here, start pulling it with your tweezers. Now, a bit tricky, but you will get there. It's just a little helping hand. I found using a tweezers to pull it through a lot easier, because otherwise you'll be there forever struggling, especially because the legs and especially the arms have got narrow points on them. So you will be there for quite some time trying to pull through each bit of the fabric. So I'm using my fingers, I'm using my tweezers just to pull this fabric through. And I'm going to be doing tonight, was my plan, to do the arms with you, to show you to sew the arms, and I'm going to turn the other arms inside out as well. So this will probably 2 steps in one. But yeah, 5.5 hours trying to get everything right, and I was like, oh, come on, give me a break. Nearly there, I can feel it. I was thinking about putting sandals on her, but then because I want a long dress, I don't know. And the dress is the fabric I'm using is quite summery. Right, so you got to this point, and as you can see, my boots as you can see, they're not in line, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to be putting some lace on the top to hide my little foot. If you wanted it perfect, it's because of where I've cut it and how I've sewn it up. That's the reason it's like that. I should imagine it's because I didn't use my little gadget to give me a 1/4 of an inch. I did it by eye, and that's caused that little sort of blip. But it don't matter, because when the doll is completely together, I'm going to be putting some lace and dress the top up, so you're not going to see that once the doll is together. So you now got a pair of legs. We've got a pair of legs after 5.5 hours. So when you get to this point, I'm going to press them down. It's a bit of a boring step, that is. So press them down. They need to be completely flat. They need to be as flat as these. That's where you need to get to them, right? So that's the legs. I won't show you that on camera because it's a 2-second thing. Now the arms. So what I've done is I have sewn one together and I have pinned one together, because I'm going to show you how to sew it and snip it as you go along, and how to turn them inside out. So I'm going to turn one because, of course, like I say, it's the same step, turning them inside out. The arms are a lot trickier, and I am just going to go around these edges with my jagged knife before I start stitching. That's because I found out through my 5.5 hours trying to do the pattern and cut the pieces out, that if I had done this right at the very start, and if you've got to unpick it for any reason and you, like me, find out that you've done it the wrong way, then by you snipping the edges, your fabric isn't going to fray. So it helps you if you make a mistake, but it also helps you if after time the doll starts to fray, you've prevented that. And then if you still think, oh, I don't know, she might fray, put a little bit of tacking glue on it. Now I'm going to cut the edge off, and I've cut the edge off that. Right, I'm going to get my sewing machine now, because the next step is involved in that. Okay, so what we need to do now, my thread may run out, I'm hoping that it won't. So what we need to do with this is completely, we're not going to stitch this bit. My camera, I'm going to stop in a minute. So stop us there. Okay. So, sorry about that, guys. I had to switch the camera around to make sure that you guys can see it on full screen. So, on the arm, as you see, the arm comes round, but on a machine, we don't stitch this edge, because this edge is where we stitch it to the doll. So, you don't go anywhere near this edge with your sewing machine. You only go near that edge to sort of snip off with the jagged scissors like I've just done, or to sew it onto the doll. So where I'm going to start is I am going to actually start here and make my way around. So like I say, I'm hoping the cotton will last. I'm going to take the pin out, and I'm going to just start on this edge here. And I'm going to push my needle, I'm using the wheel on the side of the machine to line. There, that's perfect. And off we go. So forward a couple of stitches and back. Now I'm actually using a jagged stitch anyway, a zigzag stitch. And I'm just lifting my foot up as I go. I could turn the fabric, totally up to you what you do. And you just sew. Now I'm not using the jagged stitch for any particular reason, it was just on my, I've set it when I was sewing something the other day and having set it back to a normal stitch. I keep going and going and going and going. That was just something falling on the floor. Now when I get to like the hand bit of the doll, it gets a little bit trickier. So you'll see me do a lot of the turning the wheel on the side of my machine, lifting the foot. I'm going to go back a second because I've just noticed I'm going off track. It's better. So if you think you're going wrong on the machine, a little tip for you: use your wheel to help guide the needle back to where you want it to go. Taking my pins out as I go along because I don't want them getting caught. Again, I'm going too close, so I'm going to lift my foot up. So we are getting close to under our arm. So I'm going to stop there. I am going to, no, because that goes forward. I always got to remember where I'm going with the needle. I'm going to take my pin out, and then I'm going to do the last few stitches, and I'm going to go right to the edge. Okay, so my thread held up. There's not much thread left in my machine. I need to sort of re-thread my... I'm going to press this down on the floor for a second. And right, so we are left with something that looks like that. Now I'm just going to snip, because I went back on my stitches, I can snip these away. Yes, that's my dog snoring. That's not my husband. Okay, so again with the legs we want to make 3 little snips, one here, one there, and one there, especially under the arm, because that'll give a bit... Sorry guys, I was off camera, so I do apologize. So I've made 3 snips under the arm. The reason for that is it gives it a little bit of movement for the doll, if nothing else. Now I don't need to snip anywhere else because she isn't going to move anywhere else. So the arm is a little bit trickier. So what I did was I pushed my tweezers all the way down. Get over this lip first. And I'm just pulling very gently, because the arm sort of goes up and over around where the shoulder is. You want to make sure that you don't pull too hard, because it, after all, even though I've gone back and forth on the machine to secure those stitches, the arm is so narrow to pull through that pulling those stitches can easily be done. So I'm just going to pull this up and over, and hopefully I'm going to do this before we finish off. There we are. So I've done the shoulder bit, pulled that through quite nicely, and I'll do the other arm off camera. Come on. And the reason I want to do two, somebody asked me when I put the last step up, why am I doing two dolls? I can't remember who asked me, but the reason I'm doing two dolls is because I'm making one for Rose, and the other one I got asked to do, after making a Tilda doll, I got asked to do a tutorial. I call my how-to, I don't class myself as any teacher as in such, or I tended to what am I trying to say? I've lost my train of thought now. That's what I'm trying to say, yeah. So I got asked why I was making two. So the other one, the one with the yellow that you'll see, I'm actually going to be giving away. So if you are watching this, by the end of whatever step I'll be on, when the doll is finished and she's all ready, and it's not going to take me forever to do because I have talked myself into doing to keep up with the steps because I don't want to keep you guys waiting at the end of the day, and everything else is sort of done, and I want to get on with doing this Tilda doll because I actually quite enjoy doing it when I'm in the mode of making one. I think it's the thought sometimes of picking something up, because I never like to make anything more than once. But yeah, so I'm just going to pull that gently apart, and we're on just where the hand is. So I'm going to use my fingers just to coax the last little bit out. That's not going to come out without a fight. Right, so when you get to this stage, I still haven't got all of it out. Okay, when you get to that stage, there's a little bit left in it. Can you all see that? That's what the arm looks like when you've sort of pulled it out. Now, obviously I need to do the other one, but to give you a little tip to pull this out, use the end of a brush, especially with the arm. There's nothing on the end of my brush. It's just so, or you can use needle stick or cocktail stick, maybe a little bit too sharp, but you just want something just to poke that end through. Now once you've got to that stage, you should have your arms. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So the yellow one I'll be giving away, so whatever step I'm on after finishing the doll, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be giving it away, which won't be very far off it, because in the next video I'll have a pair of arms and a pair of legs on both sets of dolls. I will be back, what day are we on? Thursday. I'm going to be back Saturday. I'm going to be doing the body with you. We cut it out, remember we drew the whole thing out, but I've messed up on the one I'm making for Rose, the cutting out, so I need to sort of cut all my fabrics again. Not spend 5.5 hours, but I need to cut all the fabrics again. So this one is for obviously the yellow fabric, the pink one is for the rose. So if you are interested in the Tilda doll, I don't want anybody just to come on and know that I'm doing a giveaway and just comment right at the end. I will be looking for whether you've been following me, whether you've been commenting. I want somebody that's been sort of really active with every step I've been making, rather than just coming on at the end of it and thinking that it's a giveaway. I'm not going to be announcing on the title that it's a giveaway. It's just for those that are watching. I'm going to be, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for those that are watching. So if you're interested in having a Tilda doll in like lemon colours, I'm going to be putting appliques and lace and all that kind of jazz that goes with it. Leave me some comments. I do read them all. Any questions I will answer. And I hope to see you in the next video. So if you're following me and you are wanting to make a Tilda doll, at the end of this video now, I'm going to turn the other arm inside out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press all 4 pieces, so I have got them then for when I need them. So press all 4 of them, and I'm going to sort the body out with the other doll, but I will be back in my other video, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. I will speak to you all very soon. Take care, guys. Bye for now.